Okay. Okay. So, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whenever you're watching this, what's up? Today I wanted to talk about burnout. Specifically how to not necessarily avoid burnout, but how to try to mitigate it. So that way it's not happening so much where it's literally affecting your life. To the point where you feel like you can't function. So, to preface this, I just want to say that everything I say should be taken with a grain of salt. Obviously, I'm talking from my own experience. I don't have a PhD. I'm not God. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Think for yourself. I encourage you to think for yourself. Listen to what I have to say. Apply what you can, and then what you can't, other resources. So, burnout. It's been said so much where it feels like it's just kind of thrown around. It's brain rot. It's something that people say, but they don't actually understand what it truly means. So, according to Merriam-Webster, burnout is defined as exhaustion of physical or emotional strength or motivation, usually as a result of prolonged stress or frustration. So I personally believe that burnout is everything, or is something that everybody goes through. It may not be as intense for everybody. I, for one, feel like I have gone through burnouts a lot growing up. I think that there's just been certain periods of my life where it's been like, wow, I feel horrible. Whether or not that, was leaning towards depression, I don't know. I think for me, the two kind of overlap a little bit, and that's why it's kind of hard to distinguish. But again, do your own research. For me, I know that it was bordering on depression because I was diagnosed with it, but for a long time it was just it felt so it felt bad. I during middle school, I think it got so bad to the point where I was just always sleeping. And what burnout did is I would try super super hard. I would be like, okay, I'm gonna get all this done, because I would procrastinate. So first, this is the cycle. I would procrastinate all my work, do all my work in one sitting, feel like shit, question why do I feel like shit, say okay, I never want to feel like shit again, I'm not gonna do any of the work, and then it just repeat, procrastinate again, we wait, and then yeah, it was really bad. So if that feels kind of similar to your experience, or you just want to keep on listening, then this video might be for you. Again, I want to say that I can't really diagnose you. So yeah, think for yourself. Think for yourself. What I can and what I will do is give a little piece of advice for people who are watching who feel like they relate to what I've said thus far. If you don't, you can click off. Maybe, there's other resources that might be more helpful for you. I feel like, even though, and this is a really big thing that I only really took into consideration this year, last year, end of last year, is that balance just does not exist. Balance is just, bro, when people say, oh, I just need to find balance in life, there's never gonna be a perfect balance of anything. That's you're making something up. You're putting a goal that you're never gonna reach, because that just doesn't exist. This is not a movie. This is real life. You can try to get it the best as possible, but even then, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have days where you feel like you haven't made any progress at all. So balance for me looks like just trying to maintain a set schedule, and that's what I'm gonna get into later on. So the first thing that I would say helped me a lot was getting medicated. I actually used to be really against medication because, one, upbringing, but two, I was so scared. I was scared that, one, I was gonna turn into some weird vegetable, and then I was scared that if I didn't turn into, say, just a blob who can't really think for themselves, then I would feel I guess numb, void, and I wouldn't be making any really decisions for myself. I'd just be going with the flow just to go with the flow. And for a while, honestly, It kind of did feel like that. Like the first, I would say, month on Zoloft, which is what I took for anxiety, it was rough. Like I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and I don't think a lot of people do at that age, like in high school, but like I'm telling you, it just felt like I felt anhedonic, anhedonia, something like that. It's basically where you don't really find a lot of joy in the things you used to, and you kind of just do feel a little bit numb. And during that time, I was really leaning on like simple joys to keep me afloat. For example, like, oh, I liked the warmth of green tea. I liked taking like really like hot showers. I liked using my electric blanket a lot. Like, I liked reading. It was a very like mellow, I guess, time in my life where I didn't really know what to do and nothing was really giving me that spark. And then slowly it kind of faded, and slowly but surely I started reintroducing like hobbies that I used to really like, and now I'm at the point where, I mean, it's not like I'm a pro at anything I do, but I do feel like for me, I would rather be doing a variety of different things rather than being good at one specific thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be average at like 7 different hobbies than to be like a pro at one. I just think that's how I work. So, yeah, I think that being on Zoloft really helped, mainly because like beforehand, like I said, struggled with anxiety. It would just be nonstop. Like, it didn't matter what remedies I tried to use, because like at the end of the day it was in my head. So like, what am I supposed to do? You journal, okay, but you're not fixing the core problem. Does that make sense? Because the easiest way to explain it is that my brain was the one kind of messing with me. So even if I tried to do things like I said, journal, if I tried to change my routine, if I tried to talk to someone, like at the end of the day, scenarios that were causing my anxiety would just replay in my head again and again and again and again and again. So like, if there's nothing to block that, then you can't move forward, right? Goals here, I'm here. I literally can't travel. It's not letting me travel. So the Zoloft was like a little boat that now allows me to fly or to flow. I still have to be the one paddling. God, I'm so good at these analogies. I still have to be the one paddling, right? I'm still putting in work. But at least now I have a little boat. I have a little like life vest, you know? So yeah. Second thing I'm gonna say that helped me a lot, and some of you might hate this, schedules. Routines. Oh, it's true. Yeah, honestly, oh my gosh. Especially when I was younger, and I would even say like last year. No. Maybe last year. Oh my gosh, I hated schedules. I hated like routines. I hated being organized. Like my room, oh my gosh. If my grades were something my parents got on to me for like a little bit, my room was actually disgusting. Like, oh my gosh. When you see those people, like, it was actually bad. When you see those people online on TikTok that's like cleaning out my depression room, and not to say that they're disgusting, but like the stuff you see where it's like just like mold, like that was me. And it was rough. It's like, I'm saying it now lightheartedly, but at the time, like it was humiliating. Like having friends that wanted to come over and then having to say like, no, sorry, can't, because I couldn't get myself to get off my bed. Couldn't get myself to clean. Like, it was so rough, man. And again, I think that the number one thing was getting on a medication that allowed me to actually like focus on the present, what was in front of me. But after the medication, you know, you have to find a routine. You have to find a schedule. So for me now, like my schedule is Monday through Friday. I work, I get off, and then when I get home, I try to do my online classes. But even then, hey, I'm behind on my online classes. So just know, I'm not perfect, but I think I'm more on track for success than I was like 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, it would have been, oh, I'm behind, I quit. I quit. Yeah. So now, even if the situation's not perfect, I can still have like or I can still take the initiative to be like, okay, lock in. And what's crazy is that I used to say that so much. I used to say, okay, I'm locked in now. Okay, I'm locked in now. And I would just like, it was just for show, I just wanted the gratification of saying like, oh, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. But it would never actually go anywhere. And actually, I think that me saying I'm locked in was kind of like the trigger, because then I would overexert myself, leading to me burning out, and then it would just restart. So I guess the third thing I would say is when you're trying to, improve yourself, not just with burnout, but that is kind of what this video is about. Try not to tell other people. I know. And I know. It sounds crazy, but when you keep things to yourself, they feel, to me at least, like it felt so much more sacred, empowering. Like it felt like, damn, like I'm doing this because of me, And honestly, it got to a point where, and this is where it's like a little iffy. I was kind of ghosting people. I don't know, because I wasn't like ignoring them completely, but I was a lot quieter, because a lot of my conversation, when I talk to people, used to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this next, oh, I'm gonna do this next. But not then, like after I stopped doing that, like I just had like this little void of my hair, this little void of like, what do I say now? Like the weather. So yeah, that was kind of difficult, because my schedule and my goals is like what used to drive my conversations. But then after I stopped that, I had to lock in and gain a personality. But yeah, I do think that it was a lot more helpful, just because when you, for example, if you make a goal like, oh, I'm going to read this, and then you tell people, oh, I'm going to read this. And then, you don't. And then you go back to, I don't know, school, work, wherever you met that person home. And they're like, oh, are you done with that book? And you have to either lie and say yes, or admit and say no. And like, either way, whatever the response is, like it kind of just makes you feel like shit, at least for me. So when I keep my goals to myself, they feel more like, oh, I'm doing this for me. Like I'm not doing this for show. If I want to, I'll do it. If I don't, I don't. My life is in my hands. I guess that's what, like, deep down inside I felt, is like, okay, so I'm in control, And yeah, again, kind of a short video, not too long. Hopefully I didn't yap too much. Those are the main two things. Getting on meds, scheduling. Oh, three things. And then not talking about your goals. And yeah, if you guys want a second part on burnout, because I know this was a little bit vague, I might go deeper into it next time. I just really wanted to yap about burnout and how consistency can help. But if you want something more in depth, I might do a video where I do more research on it, so I'm not just speaking purely from experience. My evidence is that I'm the least bit happier than I was, before I started making changes. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Please.